All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're focusing on one of the most critical moments in our entire business, that final step when our work leaves our building and lands with the client. Our business support teams, you guys are the final guardians of our quality, and your precision is, well, it's everything. Let's get into why.
And this, right here, this really says it all. For our QA, packaging, and delivery teams, the stakes are just incredibly high. What might feel like a tiny, insignificant oversight, just a minor detail you missed, can literally explode into a massive client crisis. You are the last line of defense, and that means precision is non-negotiable.
You know this number? It's not a hypothetical. This comes from a real-life case where one single mistake in a geography field led to 100% rejection from the client. Think about that. An entire project just gone. It's a really powerful reminder of why we have this process, and our goal is to make sure this never, ever happens again.
So, the big question is, how do we prevent it? Well, that's where our Guardians Toolkit comes in. Think of these as your non-negotiable golden rules that protect us and, more importantly, protect our clients. We're going to start at the first, and maybe the most crucial stage, quality assurance.
Okay, let's break this down. The do's are the absolute fundamentals, right? Every single lead has to match the client specs, one-to-one. You got to double-check all the consent and notes, and if anything looks even a little bit weird, you flag it immediately. Now, on the other side are the traps we have to avoid. Thinking, that's close enough, is a huge gamble we just can't take. And skipping random checks on a big file? No way. But the biggest one, approving a file when mandatory fields are missing, that's basically just asking for a client escalation.
So, once QA gives the thumbs up, we move to the next vital link in the chain, the packaging team. This part is all about presentation and making sure the technical details are perfect.
For this stage, we follow a simple but absolutely critical 5-point checklist. First up, does the file format match what the client asked for? Simple question, huge consequences. 2, are the field names and headers exactly right? 3, has it been scrubbed clean of any duplicates or blanks? 4, does the lead count match what we promised? And finally, 5, is that QA confirmation attached? If you hit these 5 steps every time, nothing gets messed.
And that brings us to the final handoff, delivery. All the amazing, meticulous work from QA and packaging can be completely undone in a split second if this last step isn't handled with exactly the same level of care.
Really, this all boils down to getting the right file to the right person through the right channel every single time. Always cross-check those delivery instructions. That prevents so many simple mix-ups. Only use approved channels, that's for security. Version control is key, so no one gets an old draft by mistake. And the delivery log? That's our proof, our record that the job was done right.
But what happens when things aren't perfect? What do you actually do when you spot an issue? This is where we shift gears from just prevention to active problem solving. Knowing how to handle these red flags is just as important as doing the initial checks.
Listen, these are the big ones. If you see any of these, leads that don't match the specs, the wrong file format, duplicates, or a file that somehow skipped QA, you have to recognize it for what it is. See that warning symbol? That's because each one of these is a direct, high-level escalation risk.
So, let's just pause here for a second. I want you to imagine you're getting a file ready to go, and you spot a mistake. What's your immediate gut reaction? What's your next step? It can be tempting to try and fix it quietly, or maybe just hope no one notices. But the only right answer is to follow a very clear, defined process.
And here it is. We call it the Don't Deliver Doubts flow. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Step 1, stop. Stop everything you're doing. 2, flag it to your team lead so it gets corrected at the source, where the problem started. And 3, document it. This isn't about placing blame. Not at all. It's about learning and tracking so we just keep getting better. The mantra is simple. We never, ever deliver doubts.
Okay, quick quiz time. Scenario 1. You find 5 leads in a big file, and they're missing mandatory industry info. What do? A, deliver it as is, or B, send it back for correction. The only right answer is B, send it back. Even a small number of incomplete leads compromises the entire file.
All right, here's another one. The client ordered 200 IT manager leads, but the file you have only contains 195. What's the right move? A, pad it with other similar roles to hit the number, or B, escalate the shortfall before you deliver. It's always B. Honesty and transparency are everything. We report a shortfall, we never deliver inaccurate data.
So let's bring all this together. What we've been talking about isn't just a set of rules in a handbook. It's way more than that. This is a pledge. It's a commitment that every single one of us makes to uphold the trust our clients put in us every day.
I really want you to remember this phrase. You are the final gatekeeper of client trust. Nothing gets to the client unless it passes through your hands first. That's a massive responsibility, for sure, but it should also be a huge source of pride in the work that we do.
And look, no one can do this alone. This system only works when quality assurance, packaging, and delivery operate as one single, flawless, seamless chain. Every link in that chain has to be strong. We succeed together, and we fail together.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to reflect on. When you're looking at a file and you get that little nagging feeling in your gut that something isn't quite right, when you're in doubt, what will you deliver? The only correct answer is nothing. You stop, you escalate, and you make sure that what we deliver is certainty every single time.